What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I have a very nice CMMG Banshee for us to take a look at. Now, I have done a review on the 45 ACP version of this Banshee. I have also shot the 40 and the 10mm version of these Banshees. I have also done a review on 3 different CMMG mutants. At work, we have like a dozen different CMMG rifles, so I think I'm gonna say I have more rounds through a CMMG branded brand firearm than any other brand firearm I have ever shot. I am pretty familiar with them, from their rifles to their pistols to different calibers, you name it. I have shot quite a few. Most of those other rifles and AR pistols were lent to the channel by my boss. This particular one was lent to the channel by my friend Bob at PSC Conceal Carry Academy. PSC is a local firearms training academy here on the Rhode Island, Massachusetts border. So if you are local, you can check them out if you're looking to get your pistol permit in either state. They will help you out with the NRA certifications, the USCCA certifications, and of course some private firearm lessons. Before we get started, let me quickly do my disclosure. Yes, I do work in the firearms industry, but no, that will not affect this review in any way, shape, or form, because these comments are my opinion only. Let me also quickly thank my Patreon supporters and my 3 channel sponsors. Now, CMMG calls all of their rifles the Resolute line, and they call all of their SBRs and AR pistols the Banshee line. And the Banshee line is available in 10 or 12 different calibers. It's also available in around 10 different cerakote colors. They're also available in a 100 series, a 200, and a 300. And as you go to the higher series, you get nicer furniture, you get some ambi controls like this nice oversized charging handle, a really nice ambi safety selector, huge magazine release, and you also get to pick between 10 or 11 different cerakote colors, which is included in the 300 series. As always, let's start at the bottom and work our way forward. On the back here, we have a brace from SB Tactical. If you do not like this particular one, you can swap it out. Most of the parts on here are swappable because it is obviously an AR platform-based pistol caliber, pistol carbine, whatever you want to call it. More importantly, under the brace, it has CMMG's Rip It brace or Rip It stock. Obviously, the stock is for the SBR. But the nice thing about it is you don't need to push the button to release the brace or the stock. When you take it out of a bag or you want to deploy it quickly, you just pull on it and the brace opens up all of the way. Now, you can put a screw in one of the locations if you don't want the brace to open all the way. Say you want it to open on this cutout or that cutout. You just put that screw in there and then you pull it and it will stop at that location. Being this is such a short overall rifle, pistol, whatever, I think most people are going to want to open it up all the way. Regardless, that is very convenient and it will save you a couple of seconds. Underneath there, you do have 2 sling spots to clip on slings for you lefties and you righties. I mentioned it in the beginning, but the charging handle is great. This is a CMMG charging handle. Once again, if you don't like it, you can swap it out because it is very large and it is ambi. I personally love it, but I know some people don't like the oversized ones because they don't like when it snags on stuff, but I'll take that chance all day. The grip the 300 series come with is the Magpul grip. Again, some of the lower end series does not come with as nice of furniture, but I'm a very big fan of this Magpul grip. Once again, you can swap it out. The reason I like these grips is in the bottom it does have a storage compartment where I usually keep my snacks. Now, the triggers on the CMMG Banshees are a very basic mil-spec trigger. They're not bad, but they're nothing overly fancy, nothing to write home about. I think they're fine on a pistol caliber carbine like this. Obviously, with 9mm, you're not going to be reaching out to 1,000 yards or anything like that. But the take-up is extremely short. There is 0 take-up. It is an actual single-stage trigger. Like very little movement to get it to break. And then the reset is also very short. So there's not a lot of movement on the trigger at all. It's probably somewhere around 6 pounds if I had to guess. So I'll call the trigger good, Nothing wrong with it at all. One of the best things about these CMMG Banshees is the magazines that they take. Now you can get these to either take a Glock magazines or a SIG P320 magazines. Obviously only the pistol caliber versions of these. If you get a Banshee in 7.62x39 or something like that, the Glock doesn't make those magazines. But the Glock and SIG magazines are very affordable, very reliable, and very, very easy to find. So I love that they take Glock magazines, especially if you carry a Glock or a P320 every day as your concealed carry firearm, and you keep this as a truck or a backup or a backpack gun or something. That interchangeability between the two mags is great. So if you have a spare mag or a couple mags in a backpack or whatever, however you run it, it's nice that you can interchange the same mags between both of them. Your controls are pretty much exactly the same as an AR-15, so if you know how to use an AR-15, this is going to be very familiar to you. Same exact safety, which is ambi, and the same size on both sides. Same bolt release as an AR-15. The magazine release is in the same location. The only thing that's different is it is a huge magazine release. I really, really love the size, the placement, the texture, everything about the magazine release I really, really like. Now, before I forget, let me also mention that this has a last round bolt hold open. So when you finish shooting, the bolt will lock to the rear to let you know that it's time to put more ammo in that gun. Not all pistol caliber carbines have that, and I think it is a very, very nice feature to have in there. Now both the lower and the upper are made from a forged 7075 T6 aluminum, which means they should be pretty strong, pretty durable, and also helps cut down on the weight a little bit because it's not the heaviest material in the world. The lower has a very, very generous, very nice flared magwell, which should help you insert those magazines. Up here, this red dot obviously does not come with it. This is just a budget red dot that my buddy Bob tossed on here so I could do the review. However, it does come with a dust cover, a shell deflector for you lefties, and a forward assist if you care about those things. The top of the handguard and the upper has a Picatinny rail running all the way across the top for your optics, for your lights, for your lasers, and your doohickeys. Now the handguard on this particular Banshee is called the RML4. It is about 4.5 inches long. It has M-lock slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock, so you can add your accessories. The barrel underneath is a 1 in 10 twist. It is 5 inches long, and it is made from 4140 steel, and then it is salt bath nitrided. What that means, it produces a very, very durable, resistant barrel that you're probably never going to be able to shoot out. Just shooting out any barrel in a pistol caliber carbine is impressive, especially one this quality. Now the muzzle device, depending on what caliber Banshee you get and what size barrel you get, they come with different muzzle devices. This particular one just has a thread protector on the end, that is it. The threads are 1/2 by 28, which is very common, and this bad boy is just begging for a suppressor, which I can't have. Now breaking the Banshee down is where it gets very interesting. And you pull the pin just like any other AR-15. And I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but these run on a radial delay blowback system, which is different than a lot of the pistol caliber carbines that are just straight blowback. The way those work, you have to have a very big heavy bolt, and the pressure from the round slams that bolt to the rear and then loads in another round. And they are typically much heavier, and they have a lot more felt recoil than anything that's a radial delay blowback, and even just as much, if not more, felt recoil than a standard AR-15. With the radial delay system, the way it works, the bolt has to unlock, there's the radial delay, before it moves to the rear. And that very slight delay allows a lot of the gases to go out front. It allows the bolt to be much lighter, and that produces a gun with a lot less felt recoil, one that's more reliable, one that doesn't run as dirty, and just, it's a real pleasure to shoot this gun. It's I don't know, man. If you've shot one of these, or even an MP5 or something, the recoil is just very tame, is how I'm going to say it. Once again, you have a very nice ambi charging handle. The bolt and the bolt carrier, again, on the bolt you have those radial cuts. The cam pin is rounded off, so it doesn't rub on anything. Yes, if you notice, the bolt is also spring loaded. is full auto rated if you're cool enough to convert yours to a full auto, which I can imagine would be very, very fun. And the other thing in the carrier, in the back of the carrier here, you can get different weights and add different weights into the carrier. And what that's for is if you are running suppressed and you want to slow that bolt down to make it more reliable, you can get those weights from CMMG and help the gun run more reliable if you are running suppressed, which again, I cannot in this god-awful state. As far as our weight, these things are not too heavy. I know they're very small, but they're coming in around 4 pounds and 10 ounces unloaded. So that is not too bad. With the stock collapse, it is 18.9 inches. With the stock open, it was just over 21 inches, just barely over. Being this is a 300 series, again, it has all those bells and whistles that I talked about, but it is a little more expensive than the others. I seen it come in around $1,500 in that area. It's very tough to quote prices right now. Everyone's favorite time of the day, the pros, the cons, and the uses. The biggest pro for me is that it takes either Glock or P320 magazines, especially if you carry one of those guns every day. The interchangeability, if that's a word, is great between your pistol, your primary, and your secondary weapon. The radial delay blowback system is excellent and makes it an absolute joy to shoot this at the range. All the ambi and oversized controls are wonderful, high quality, easy to use. Love all of them. Last round hold open on the magazine, on the last round rather, is fantastic. The Rip It brace, I love the Rip It brace. I'm pretty much just naming every single feature over again, aren't I? I just am a big fan of the Banshee line of pistols. As far as cons, I don't really have a con. I hate doing that. I feel every single firearm has something you don't like about it. So I'm going to be a little bit on the nitpicky side and say the trigger. Now, while the trigger is not bad, it's not great. And again, you can swap it out if you're not a big fan of it. I think it's fine for what it is. You're not going to be reaching out 1,000 yards with a 9mm. So the trigger is fine for what it is. But that's probably the only thing on this gun that I'm not absolutely in love with is the trigger. It's not horrible, but there is some room for improvement, I'll say it that way. I was still able to get hits out to 200 yards with this budget red dot and my terrible eyesight. I was still able to get those hits, so it's not all that bad. The one thing I want to just make sure you're aware of with any gun that you're shooting with a super short barrel like this, be very careful on where you put your support hand. This does have a little hand stop at the end of the handguard, which I forgot to mention, which helps. But obviously if you're shooting and your hand goes off the edge of the barrel, ouch. And also, if you're going to grab near the mag well instead, which I don't do, but I've seen a lot of people grab it like this, just be very careful holding too close to the ejection port. Again, you could get a good owie and not have a good day if your hand goes in the wrong place. As far as uses, you could use this for pretty much anything, but it would make a great backpack gun. It would make a great I'm going hunting, a great truck gun, very fun at the range. If you've never shot any Pistol Caliber Carbine, they are so much fun at the range and they absolutely kill your ammo supply, so be ready for that. If you're going to go into any Pistol Caliber competitions, this would also make a great competition gun, especially the longer barrel version. This one is fun, but it is a little on the short side, and if you had a little bit longer gun, I think that'd be better for competitions. For self-defense, this would be a better option. And this could absolutely be used for home defense as well. Now, if you didn't want to, for some reason, go with a more traditional round, a Pistol Caliber Carbine, assuming, again, you don't live in Montana and you need to reach out several hundred yards in a normal urban environment, this would be more than enough, in my opinion, for home defense. Before you guys go, let me quickly thank my friend Bob from the PSC Conceal Carry Academy. Again, local instructor here on the Mass, Rhode Island line. Check him out if you're looking for your permits, NRA certifications, USCCA certifications, and for private lessons. Let me also thank you guys for watching, because it is greatly appreciated. If you are looking to support the channel, the best way to do so is on Patreon. If you are not willing and able to support me on Patreon, no big deal. Just keep the likes and the comments coming, because they really help me out. Now, if you're wondering what reviews I have coming out next, please consider subscribing to the channel and enabling the bell notification. This way, YouTube will hopefully notify you when I come out with a new video. If you want to know what those videos I am working on right now in real time are, consider following me on Instagram, Facebook, and or Parler. The links to all three are down in the video description. I mentioned it earlier, but I do have three really awesome channel sponsors. The first one is USCCA for all of your concealed carry education, concealed carry training, and self-defense insurance. Second, Blackout Coffee Company for all of your caffeine and coffee and tea needs. Last but certainly not least, I have Dangerous But Good, one of my favorite companies that makes pro-gun and Christian clothing. One more time, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. I'm out hunting with the CMMG Banshee, and right on the other side of this tree is a huge buck. Let's see if I can sneak around and get him, okay? I also found a buffalo, which is crazy because there's no buffalo in Rhode Island. I only got 3 shots left. 2 to the body, 1 to the head.